right, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Friday. We made it. We made it. We made it. Welcome back, everyone. Press that like button. Yesterday, man, what a day. Oh man, what a day. Definitely, it's it's a trading day. It's the trading day that I felt for 10 years of my life, right? That always pops up maybe every few months. You get one of those days, man. One of those days, every few months, one of those days where you just miss everything. Everything. You miss it all. Sucks. Sucks, but after a long time trading, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, and it will never end. It's like you just know it will never. It's impossible to stop, right? It's impossible to always catch everything. You can't be Ash Ketchum. We're not Ash Ketchum out here. Got to catch them all. Unfortunately, that's not what trading is. So, once you can accept that, you just laugh it off because you know it's going to happen again. You know it's going to happen again. So, it is what it is. Beautiful stuff yesterday, guys. Beautiful stuff. Netflix. Holy shit, Netflix. Our gap fill on Netflix. Our under 940 on Netflix. My goodness gracious. That was like 2,000% on options contracts. Absolutely sickening. APP, money. We talked about APP just being an absolute tank job. Money straight down. Tesla under 268 straight down. It was just perfect. Across the board, perfect. The problem that I had yesterday was I got too excited in the early morning session and just didn't trade. I traded too much. I should have waited. Should have let it go. But you know what, man? You're starting to get some later day moves, which is sort of different. So yeah, it's one of those days, man. One of those days. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So beautiful stuff. If you guys caught it, beautiful stuff. If you guys took advantage of some of those big boys, and Netflix and APP were just money. So I think there could be more money out there, right? I'm not going to say that it's over. I think it'd be crazy to think that is the opportunity is gone. There is more opportunity every day of the week. That's what's beautiful about the stock market. You wake up today, there's even more opportunity. Every day of the week, another opportunity. The human mind and the emotion makes you feel like there's not. Like, oh my God, I missed it and it will never be back. I can't believe it. It's the last day on earth that the stock market will ever trade, and I can't believe I missed that. That is not true. It'll probably be another beautiful opportunity today somewhere out there. So let's lock in. Let's forget about yesterday. Have to have a short-term memory. And let's close this week strong, man. AVGO, yeah, I would not be shocked to see Broadcom fill the entire earnings gap. I would not be shocked in the slightest. Obviously, that will depend on the economic data most likely today. So here we go. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. We're almost to 100K, man, and I got some cool shirt designs coming out. I've got some cool stuff on its way. So I'm working on a bunch of stuff, man. Working on some t-shirts designs. I'm working on, I want to make the people in the community feel more connected physically, not just like online. So like I want to send members like sort of gift boxes. So like maybe an Options Insider mug, a hat, a t-shirt. Maybe a mouse pad, just make it feel more like, hey, you're part of a real group. So working on a lot of stuff. Got the mentorship coming out soon, almost 20 hours of videos. The gigabytes, my external hard drive is on its last leg, man. My external hard drive, I want to see. External hard drive, 220 gigabytes. On my external hard drive. That external hard drive is my life right now. So working on that, I've been swamped. The first 3 months of this year, I feel like I haven't stepped out of this office, but you know what, man? We're grinding. We're grinding. That's just that's what we got to do. Got to feed the family, man. Someone's got to feed the family. So if you guys, if you guys want to press that like button for me, I'd appreciate that. If you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate that. Help me get to 100K. We're almost there. We're about 200 and what are we? 235. 235. Not bad. All right, let's get started. So, here we go. Today, Friday, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate. This should be pretty big. This, I would assume, is going to be pretty decent. I would assume this moves the market this morning. I mean, I would at least expect it to. So, let's see. 8:30, going to be important. 10:15 through 12 o'clock, you got some FOMC members speaking. And then Fed Chair Powell at 12:30 today. So that might be a little bit interesting. I will not be trading at this time. I will be out of here for the weekend. Gone. I will be gone. I'm going to the happiest place on earth this weekend. And I am very excited to call it a week. So let's see what the morning session gives us. Let's see what that 9:30 to maybe 11:30, 12 o'clock time frame gives us. I'll be out of here. Hopefully I don't miss another absolutely beautiful trading day. But that's okay. I am very serious about my outside of trading life. I do not like sitting in front of the computer all day. I think it is counterproductive, right? Even if sometimes you catch maybe a little bit later day, I think ultimately it is counterproductive, and I think it really drives your mental capital lower, right? And I only like to trade when my mental capital is at its highest, which I believe is around the 9:30 to 12 o'clock time frame. After that time frame, mental capital starts looking like this, and you start making some stupid decisions at times. Sometimes, you get some really easy price action later day, but for me, I stick to this, that first, early morning session. So let's see what happens today. Fed Chair Powell, 12:30, economic data. Yesterday, we had earnings on Costco, which brought it down to 1,000. Yesterday, we had earnings on, what was the other one? Why am I forgetting? Oh, Broadcom. So we'll talk about these two in just a second. I mean, sitting on the charts, that's different. Trading and actually making decisions while the market's open is, obviously educating yourself. You're going to have to sit here more than 2 hours a day. But, yeah, actually trading, I don't like to take actions much, later day, guys. I mean, I'm not talking about this again. You guys should know this by now. You understand that as the day goes later, the more algorithmic driven the market is and the more difficult it is. And that's when I just see nonstop messages in the community. What's going on? What's going on with this price action? I can't believe it. Well, hey, man, how about you stop trading at 3 o'clock? How about that? All right? Think about it. Maybe let's not trade all day. Let's just trade when it's usually easier, or at least more free-flowing in the morning. Let's not trade during 3 o'clock and trade in this late day. Probably a good idea. So, anyways, let's jump in. Nasdaq futures. Here we go. So, yesterday, 20,500. What a smackdown there. Obviously, we're still under 20,700. Like we've been saying this entire week, as long as we're under this 20,700, there is absolutely zero reason to long this market. And there it is again. So, there is still zero reason to long this market. I don't know why it's even a thought process. I don't mind, scalp longs, but, when I say I don't think it makes sense to long the market, I mean, please don't start setting up swing trades to the upside. Please don't think in the back of your head, oh, this might be the bottom. Right? Don't start getting those smart ideas that start to infiltrate your mind and start to make you do stupid things. Please don't start doing that. If you're going to long the market, it's a scalp, and that's about it. If you see some kind of reason to long off an extreme low or on a reclaim, but until we are above this level right here, until we are above this level right here, there is no macro structure change. This is something you need to understand. Until you get above 20,700, the macro structure is still bearish. Anything to the upside, under this level, under the daily 200 SMA, is bearish. Okay? If we can reclaim the 200 SMA, that's when you can start to think, hey, maybe we have bottomed, right? I'll start to accept those considerations if we get above the 200 SMA. We cannot say that we have bottomed if we're trading below the 200 SMA on the Nasdaq. That's just sort of crazy to me to even consider that. So you need to be above the 200 SMA. There's no reason to think that we have bottomed if we are trading below it. So just please keep that macro structure in your mind when you approach trading, right? Because you need to know what kind of market you're in. You can't really trust upside in a bearish structure. So today, guess what? We have now turned remember our 20,200, 20,300 zone? Look at this. It's turning into rejections, and that's no bueno. Now, of course, our economic data here in about 15, 17 minutes, 18 minutes is really going to be the deciding factor, but this is Wednesday's lows at 20,200, and you are now turning this into rejections. So that is no bueno for the bulls. That would be a very clear reason to keep this market lower. If we cannot get back over this Wednesday low, even this early morning Thursday low, and pretty much the entire low from Tuesday, I know it crept down a little bit lower, but most of the price action came in around this zone in 20,002 to 3. Here's your 20,002 to 3, 20,002 to 3. After you broke 3 yesterday and broke 2, right, look at the rejections under 2. Look at how clear 20,200 is yesterday on the Nasdaq futures. Look at this. Guys, this is what I'm talking about, okay? You have no idea how many people cannot control themselves in this price action. You have no idea how much money, how much retail money is blown up in absolute bullshit. It's sickening. And if you're doing it still, you need to stop. Right? I was there too, okay? I was there too. I was at that point in my career too in trading. I couldn't stop myself. But I'm telling you, you got to find a way. Because if you keep doing it, it's going to continue to be the same thing over and over again. And if you keep trying to long lows before a clear level has broken, right, in a bearish market, you're going to continue to get smacked into this, right? So we had 20,200 on our level yesterday, right? We knew 20,200 was a level, right? We knew, hey, Desi has 20,200 to 20,300 as our supply. We also have previous lows at 20,200, right? Oh, shit, look at this. We've broke under the previous day lows. So now you cannot long this market with any logical reasoning if we're below Wednesday's lows. It makes no sense. Use the levels. Use the levels to guide your decisions. If we're under Wednesday's lows and we're under 20,200, why consider a long? Why? I don't even care if it's like this long. This is not an interesting long, right? This is not a long that you need to take. It's not. That's not a long that will make you, that's not going to be the long that, you know, just turns you profitable and this is the exact trade that you're always going to look for. That's not it. You need a break of a key level. So can we break above 200? Can we hold back above it? Right? And then maybe we can take a long on a break and retest of Wednesday's lows. Maybe we look to long on a reclaim of Thursday's lows. Now that makes sense. That makes a little bit more sense to me. Let me see if we can reclaim Thursday's lows. Let me see if we can reclaim the pre-market high. And then let me see if I can long this market. Right? That makes sense. I don't mind that. Right? And that actually happened yesterday on the S&P 500 futures. And I will show you that shortly. But for now, this is your trading range. 20,200 to 20,000 yesterday lows. This is it. I don't mind this fade if you are a scalper. I don't mind this fade if you understand how to trade and you are a scalper. But if you're just going to take 20,200 puts, right, you're going to trade puts off this high and just not know when to take profits, then yeah, I don't want you trading this zone. But if you have some kind of discipline, I don't mind that 20,200 fade. I would definitely look for that today, but that's just a scalp. That's just a scalp. But I would assume that we might be out of this range in about 15 minutes, so let's not go too deep into it because we might have to relook at this. We could very well be outside of this range in about 15 minutes. So let's see. But for now, we definitely know our zones. 20,200 to 300, be careful in there. We have a very clear 20,000 to 19.9 down here. I would be careful ping-ponging. We're likely going to ping-pong within this level today. If we break under 20K, we'll probably see a little bit more free flow. Under 19.9, I think you go 19,750. If you reclaim 20,300 today, maybe you get a little squeeze into 500. We'll see. Let's wait for the data, though. QQQ, pretty much perfect, 492, and now 200 SMA rejections on the QQQ. Before yesterday, we were holding the 200. We were holding the 200. We were holding the 200. Yesterday morning, we had a squeeze off the 200. On Wednesday, off the 200, and a reclaim of that level on Tuesday. So 200 SMA, 200 SMA, 200 SMA. Guess what? It's now a rejection. So that's not good. There's no reason to be confidently long if we are below 492 on the QQQ. No reason. If we get above 492, if we hold back above it and we reclaim, then that could actually be a long that sets up today, right? I wouldn't mind that. A reclaim of the 200 SMA after a hold in this channel, right? And a reclaim above that low, that could actually create a decent little squeeze long, maybe up into like that 495, possibly even up into that 500. We shall see. But for now, we are below that level, and we have to respect that. And you do not long into the 200 SMA if it is now turning into a rejection point. The lows that I would be careful of here is around 488 to 486. You can see this is your 488. Yesterday, lows 486. So I'm assuming you're going to find something within that zone today. A little bit of dance in that zone is likely. So be careful down into this 486, 488. Under that, you likely go to 484. That's the big level down below. That's a level from the daily chart, 484. Okay. S&P 500 futures. It's just a beautiful chart. It's just a stair-stepping downside that seems to have confused a lot of people, but I need you guys to focus and zoom out, right? You need to zoom out. You need to look at this chart. Every morning, you got to get off the 2-minute chart. This is about as clean as it's ever going to get, guys. The market is literally telling you exactly what it's going to do every day, right? It's just saying, hey, if I ain't above this red zone, don't try to buy longs, right? If you just don't want to even try the low long, like the longs off the lows, I really don't mind that at all, right? There's really no reason to even try the longs off the lows, because this is why, right? Look at this. That, and maybe we're getting ready for this, right? Who knows? But for now, this is about as clear as it ever is going to get. 58.60, Thursday's lows, Friday's lows from last week into Tuesday's highs, Wednesday's highs of this week, last week's lows into this week's highs. That's bearish, okay? So, as long as we stay under 58.60, everything to the upside is fake. Everything to the upside is fake unless you get over 58.60. Unless you can truly squeeze and reclaim and hold above 58.60, everything you see to the upside is irrelevant. It's a pop and fade. It's exactly what they want you to do is buy longs into it. Don't do it. Don't swing trade. Don't try to catch a bottom if we're under 58.60. That is extremely clear. There's no reason to do that. So 58.60, that's the line in the sand. If you can reclaim it and hold back above it, that would really be your long, right? Hold above Wednesday's highs, back above Tuesday's highs, back above Thursday and Friday lows. That reclaim would be a long if we can get it. So let's see. I doubt that's going to happen today unless people really like this data this morning. That would definitely cause a squeeze, in my opinion. That would cause a squeeze to 6,000. And that would be a nasty squeeze. But let's see. I mean, it would be fun to see. I would definitely be down to trade it. But for now, that is a little bit outside of reality. today, I would be watching 5770, it looks like, is the level, right? You can see this pre-market 5770 continues to fail, so I would watch that. I don't like the shorts into this low down here. I don't like the shorts into Tuesday's lows. I don't like the shorts into 5720, 5700. You guys remember 5720 from our analysis yesterday? That was the exact low of day to the cent. Cent. No, just exact. The cent was our low right here. So our 5720 level that we talked about in the live stream yesterday was to the cent, our exact low of day. So I would not short into that level today. I would not be that fond of that unless we break under 5,700, right? So you guys can see right here, under 5,720, you'll probably get 5,700. Under 5,700, I think you get a nice short. That's under 5,700. So let's see. But I would be careful trading shorts into this zone. Anywhere between 57.44, Tuesday's lows, and the 5,700 will get a little bit tricky, right? A little bit tricky. So be aware of that. Over 57.70, likely a squeeze up into the Thursday high, yesterday high, and then this previous Monday low, 58.20. So that's actually a clean spot right there. You can see 58.20 actually was where yesterday rejected, and also where Monday was the previous lows from that Monday. So that 58.20 spot actually looks like a pretty good spot to have on the chart. So I got 58.20, I got 57.70. I'm cautious of these major lows, and obviously I know my big smackdown zone above. SPY, 580. You guys can see right here, 580 was yesterday's smackdown. That's right here. That was also the same thing as the ES, the Monday's lows, right? Look at that. Monday's lows, yesterday's highs. Very clear. Little rejection there. That's definitely a level to keep on your charts. 580 on the SPY. Everything to the upside is fake until you hold above 584. That's clear as can be. Stair-stepping downside continues. 575.50, right? 575.50 was the current level that you're watching. But I would be very cautious of shorting. This is the last line for the bulls. This is it. Guys, this is the last line. 200 SMA on the SPY. Really, the last line is 565. I'll show you really quick because that's still my target. I still think 565 is our target on downside. I made this pretty apparent the other day on X, and I think on here as well. I still think that's your best target. That's where I would actually aggressively buy more stocks. No, I'm still on my same weekly cadence with buying the dip. Just my normal M1 Finance buying the dip action. But I think I'd probably get a little bit more aggressive here at 565. I think that's definitely a spot to watch. I think that's ultimately our target, personally. I think maybe a little overshoot over the 200, right? Shoot under it a little bit. Get a little bit of a trap going on. And then 565 ripper. That's my, if you had a bullet to my head, right? If you had a gun to my head and asked me what I think's going to happen here, it's basically this right here. This is what I think's going to happen. It's an overshoot past that SMA and then a rip back higher. That's my personal opinion. So I think an overshoot over the 200 into 565 and then a short-term relief bounce off that. That's my genie in a bottle. That's my bullet or gun to the head guess if you had to ask me to give you one. It's basically like this as well, right? The market typically bottoms after these sort of capitulatory fake outs under these SMAs, right? See that right there? It happens a lot. Right here, right? Here's another one, little capitulatory bottom under the daily 100. It typically happens. It happens quite often. There's another one right there. Here's another one over here, right? This is a good one. Obviously, this ended up being a lower high and failing again. But, yeah, I'm thinking something like that is what you're going to have to see. I don't think this is enough selling to just slow this down, right? This really has not been enough panic to me. It's still very controlled. It's still very controlled. No big gap downs, right? We haven't seen any gap downs. There's no gaps here. So we might still be due for like a holy shit morning, right? We might still be due for that holy shit morning where you wake up and say, maybe I should sell my long term. Oh shit, maybe I should get rid of my long term. Yeah, we might be still due for one of those, man. I'm not going to lie, because this has not been like that crazy. And typically you need a little bit of crazy before things bottom. So let's see. We might still be due for the worst. The worst may be yet to come. But anyways, that's it for the SPY. Let's go to the IWM. IWM's just sort of been chilling between this channel, really not doing a whole hell of a lot much, just sort of rejecting off 210, right? Right here, 210, 211, holding these lows. I really don't have much for you there. Dow Jones, pretty much the same thing. Don't have much for you. 42.5, 43.250, pretty much just the same channel. Nothing really there to talk about. SMH, pretty much the same thing as well, right? 230, 218. Didn't make new lows yesterday, which is sort of interesting. And 237. So a lot of stuff sort of, right? This is not that bad to the downside, which is like, it's sort of, you know, I think if you watch the Nasdaq every day, you'd probably get a little bit panicked because the Nasdaq's been maybe a little bit more aggressive, but this is not enough over the last week to make me think that like we're in like pure panic attack, right? Look at it. The SMH is flat on the week. If you maybe take away like Monday morning here, the entire week is flat. So it's really not that terrible. I know it's been downside, and oh my God, what's downside? But that's the Dow. The Dow's been flat all week. Honestly, give or take, if you sort of take away Monday, this has been flat all week. Tuesday through Friday has now been flat all week. Could be consolidation lower though, right? I mean, consolidation lower is bearish. So if we continue to have consolidation lower, you're basically waiting for that crackdown day. There's one of these days that's just going to crack it. So you can see we sort of had this, and then right here on Tuesday cracked it. New consolidation. Where's the next crack, right? And then the next consolidation. So you can see, right? Consolidation, crack, consolidation. Where's the next one? That's possibly what we're still waiting on, right? That is what you should expect if we stay in a bearish structure. Until we crack back above it, that is what's going to happen, right? Until you crack above and then consolidate above, we are going to continue lower. So that's that. Let's jump into the Nasdaq futures. Why not? Let's go Nasdaq futures and let's see what this data has to say. Actually, we got a little bit of time before it comes out. We'll go to Tesla real quick. Tesla, you guys know we've been calling for this gap fill, 255. You might get it today. Boy, oh boy, would this be a nice retest rejection of 260 if the market was open right now. I really wish it was, because that is about as perfect of a break of previous day lows, a retest of it right now in the pre-market. I hope to God that waits for me. Don't know if it will. But that is definitely a level I would be watching now. 260. If we hold below that today, that's definitely a fade spot. That's pre-market lows. That's yesterday's lows. Watch out for that. Looks like it's already going to do it. If we reclaim that level today, then I would look for the fade here at 264.50 and the fade at 267. We'll relook at this in a second after the data comes out. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's see. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Oh. Can we go? Squeeze it. Squeeze it. Let's see if this is this could be becoming just a monster fade. Oh, it's already fading. You gotta at least get over 580 at the very least, or this is a total fade job. Yeah, that don't look that strong. Let's see how it can continue, but I think at the very least 580, at the very least 580. You need to see at least this thing over yesterday's highs. Be careful into yesterday's highs or today, right? Be careful that previous day high. Definitely something to be cautious of. Unemployment rate, 4.1 versus 4.0. Yeah, let's see. I mean, it's definitely saying, hey, don't be an idiot and short into the daily 200. That's for sure, right? That's pretty clear. I mean, that's sort of what we know. We expected that. I mean, I'm not surprised to see it, maintain that. So that's definitely clear, right? Let's not be shorts into the 200 SMA today. That trade's probably not available unless we can fail under 570, which will be a really ugly fade if we give back this entire thing and break the lows of yesterday. So no shorts into the daily 200 on SPY. That should be like the number one engraved things in your mind today. If you see the market trading near the 200 SMA on SPY, please, for the love of God, do not short the market. It's just, I don't care if it goes below it. It's not something that you should be doing. You never want to be too short near a 200 SMA. It definitely keeps the door wide open, right? What's the door? It looks like I'm doing my architecture on a blueprint. What's it look like on a blueprint? Something like this. I don't know exactly what I'm drawing here. It leaves the door open for just getting squeezed out, right? So please don't do that. This would actually be an interesting reclaim today. Let's take a quick peek, right? This could be an interesting reclaim, 570, 550. Keep an eye on that today, right? You can see right here, nice little reclaim of pre-market highs. So I would watch that right here. Reclaim of pre-market highs, 570, 550, right there, right? You could keep an eye on that, but that's got to be a strong hold today. We got to get that to really strongly hold above that level, okay? If you hold above 570, 550, maybe you get a little bit of juice up into that 580 again. And then just be careful of 580. Over 580, then you get, I'd say, better juice up into that 584. Do not short into these lows. QQQ, yeah, where are we at? All right, so we're starting to fade 492 already. So we're starting to fade the previous low a day before the breakdown yesterday right here. 492, that's Wednesday's lows. That's yesterday's morning lows. That's yesterday's rejection point. Yeah, you're already fading 492. So there's no long here if we're under 492. There's absolutely no reason to think about that. You're already fading the 200 SMA on the QQQ. It's not good. It's not good. It's not strong. So you got to get above that. You have to see the Qs hold above the 200. That is a prerequisite for any type of upside to look for today. You have to right? It's the same thing. Don't short into the 200 SMA on the SPY and do not long into the QQQ rejection point at the 200 SMA. This is called a pinned zone. You are pinned, right? You don't need to trade within this zone. You are pinned within this zone. 492, 488 lows, 486 lows, very tight zone. Wait for something to break. Nasdaq futures failing that 20,000. Yeah, it's already failing this 20,300, 200 zone very aggressively. That would be an aggressive short if you want to look for it today. If you want to look for this fade of 200 back into 20,000, that's a possible, maybe you look there. That would be the same as the Q fade of 492 to 488. You could look for it. I don't mind that actually. ES held Tuesday's lows, failing 57.70. You got to at least hold above 57.70. Okay? I mean, pretty damn clear out there. Clear levels. Just got to watch them. Best of luck. Let's move on. Tesla. This is actually great. I'm very happy to see what's going on in Tesla because I need this to go higher because I want a bigger fade. Give me upside on Tesla. Give it to me. What an immediate rejection of our 264.50 level. Holy shit. Okay. Immediate failure at 264.50. That is this low from yesterday and the later day highs and the pre-market high. Look at that fade right there. So that's clear. Watch that level today for fades for sure. If you fail back under 260 today, I love that to 255. That's definitely a watch. If you move a little bit higher, I would say right here at the 267, and that's that Wednesday low, and then the main fade spot, the juicy fade spot, this fade spot that I put 6 figures on a trade in is right here. That's that. That's 271 to 273.50. Why? That is, I will show you why that is such an important zone. That zone is the gap between these highs. So when you zoom out on Tesla, you have a high here at 271. 271 highs. That's from July. That's from that July. 7 is July. Yes, that's from July 11th. And the high here from October 28th is 273.50. So 273.50 to 271 is where I would be looking for a big time fade. Why? Because that is this high and this high. If we retest that level, that would be a fade spot I'd look for. And you can see just yesterday, that is the exact spot that faded right here. So if we go back to our charts, that's the spot. That's a huge level. Yes, that's huge. So if we get back up into that, that is a main watch for either the big fade or a very large reclaim. Either side, that's the level right there. That's huge. And then above that, you still have this, by the way, which is even more huge. But this is definitely a big zone to be watching. Okay. Posted that analysis on X if you want to follow me on X, man. Follow me on X. Follow me on Instagram. Help me. Ayúdame. 113 NVIDIA. Definitely a big spot today. Let's see what she does. Need to get above it. If you can get above 113, I don't mind a little juicer here over 113. It looks like you're getting really heavy around this 115 spot. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's a little heavy around that 115. What is it? 115.50. That's definitely pretty heavy there. Yeah, that's a good spot right there. You can see some previous fails in this zone. 115.50 would be your next target. If you can get over 113, you have to get over 113. If you get above that, 115.50. If you get above 115.50, then maybe you can see that 120 again. You have to hold these lows. 109, 110, monster lows. Must hold lows. Huge. AMD. AMD, I would look for this rejection of 100, honestly. If we can see some weakness today, I'd say look for this little bear flag off 100. Keep an eye on that 100 spot AMD. Could be a nice fader. TSM, don't got much on TSM. Broadcom, so the only way Broadcom continues higher is a hold of 194. This is a must hold for Broadcom today. You got to hold this 194. This would be your break and retest. This is what you call a reclaim, my friends. Okay? When we just talked about, where we said let's look for reclaims on the market, this is it, right? This is a reclaim. You see how we have this channel, right? Just pay attention with me. Bear with me here. Listen. See this low and see this high right here? See that? See that channel? There was your previous channel. That channel turned into this, right? That channel now turned into highs here, right? Highs there. I'm inversing the colors. I don't know why. And lows here, right? Now look at what it's trying to do. It's trying to get back into this zone. It's trying to get back into this area, right? It's trying to get back above these lows. It's very easy to... I hope you can see this, man. Like, I don't know if it's just like maybe when you're... I don't know. To me, this is just... It's like basic. It's so easy to see. I hope that, if you're still not really getting this, I guess maybe like once you get something, it's really hard to understand why some people don't, and I get that, right? That's like with everything in life, right? Once you understand something, you start to get upset because people don't understand it, but it's like, hey, man, I don't know it like you do. Like, to me, this just is about as clear as it can possibly get, right? Look at these boxes. So this is what you look for a market to reverse. This has to happen for a market to reverse. A market does not reverse until this starts to happen. That has to happen, right? That has to happen. So look to see if that happens. If that happens, then we can start to consider Broadcom maybe creating a higher low. Maybe. But if that fails back under, dead. Dead, dead, dead. It's dead, right? If that fails back under today, you are right back into this zone, and you're right back in the shitter. And this was pointless. Okay? You got to pay attention to this stuff. Meta. Holy shit, Meta was clean yesterday. Meta was clean yesterday. Look at this thing. Bear flag. We talked about that. Bear flag 660. 50 SMA. Fail. Bam. Dead. Sick. If Meta can break under 620, then I could potentially see more downside here. Under 620 in the 100 SMA, I'd say downside to 607. But that might be a tough level to break. Meta 100 SMA might be a tough level to break. So I would look for this right here. Rejections of these lows at 637, right? Right there. So 637, rejection, under 620, downside to 607. Amazon, what a pop and fade of our 206 level yesterday. Missed this. Just like classic fashion, anything else yesterday. Missed everything. Pop, fade, 206. This was exactly what I was looking for. Beautiful. I would be a little bit careful shorting into this 200 SMA. I don't love it. I think this trade might be pretty much over. Yeah. 203. The daily levels, they're on WAP. If you go to the description below, I post all these. I mean, the analysis is in Discord, but if you want to get these levels, you can pay in WAP and then get access to the Discord. These are all levels every day. Desi TA. If you can't get in, send me an email, Trim. Send me an email. It's down in the description as well. Vincent at options-insider.com. Send me an email. Okay. Amazon, 199, 200. You guys can see right there. I would be a little bit careful shorting into that. But pop and fade is open, right? The pop and fade is open. 203. That's what I'd look for. 203, 206. Google was my top watch before upside came in today, but may still be my top watch, actually. This is an interesting rejection and fade potential to me. This is a little shitter grind into the 200 SMA, in my opinion. This could really be interesting to me. Yeah. I'm watching this today. This is one of my top watches. If I start to see market weakness, if I see Google fail to reclaim that 200 SMA today, I think this could be really something to watch. Maybe it doesn't work today, but let's see. I think it's something to pay attention to. Netflix. Son of a bitch, man. Oh. Look at that rejection under 9.4. Look at this. Look at this right here. Oh, my God. It's perfect. It's about as easy as it gets right there. It's about as easy as it gets on the 2-minute chart. I'll show you on the 2-minute chart. Just an absolute perfection. Perfection rejection. That's what it is. Just under 940. Bam. Bam. Just dead. Awesome downside. Congratulations to anyone catching this. Talked about the 4-hour chart. Talked about that just gap down here that we, needed to fill, and that is exactly what we did. We went straight down, guys, straight up, straight down. You guys know how it goes. Straight up, straight down. That's just that's what we look for. Today, I would look for this. I would look for rejections of the 220 to 224 zone. Now, let me show you why 220 to 224. If you go into yesterday's price action, you will see some hesitation on Netflix around that area right here. So take a look at this. Right around this 220 to 224 area, you had a little bit of a shelf, maybe down to around 218, but you had a little bit of like this shelf right here that was created. You had pretty much flushing action and then flushing action, right? That also lines up with a daily level. So 920 right here, 920 to 924 area, I would look for a rejection today. That would be the spot. If we can reject that spot, then I would look to see if there's another entry point, right? Right there. Right in there. I would look to see if there's another rejection there. The best rejection is obviously a push in the 940 and a failure there. If we get it, I don't know. And then I would also be very careful at the 100 SMA. I would be very careful at the 100 SMA. Okay? 890, 860. I love how people, I'm not calling you out, cellular, but I love how people, like, stock goes down one day and their business now sucks. It's actually crazy to me. Stock goes down one day. Oh, what a piece of shit Netflix is, man. That stock sucks. That company sucks. I hate Netflix. Just because the stock went down. Netflix is probably the best, if not has a monopoly on the entire space. So I don't know why you say that, but all right. APP 260. 260 is your spot today. If you break under 260, you go down to 240, under 240, 220. What a drop in rejection under 300 yesterday. My goodness. And then 275 is your bounce and fade spot. So right here, you're looking for rejections of 275. You're looking for fails of 300. If you stay under this previous day low at 260, you're going lower. 240, 220. What else? What time is it? We got 3 minutes. Let's go. Apple's not interesting. Let's go Palantir. Palantir, I would be paying attention to this low here today on Palantir. You guys can see 78 low. If you break under 78, I think it's free money to 72. I would watch 78 today, see if that does break down and reject. Under 78, I like 72.50. Watch for fails at 85. Watch for fails at 90. I'm sort of watching Kava today. If Kava breaks this low right here at 82, I think this is also some free downside. Under 82, I really don't see much until this low here on Kava around 72.50. So this is something I will be watching around 82. I have my alert set on that one. Yeah, Costco needs to hold 1,000 today. If Costco does not hold 1,000, I'd assume more downside. I'd assume 50 SMA. I'd assume 975 personally. You'd have to see this hold strong today on Costco. That's a big level, 1,000. What else did I miss? We can go over Coinbase MicroStrategy real quick. Coinbase has to get over 221. If it does not, this is a rejection point. I would be paying attention to that. 221 has been a major fade spot. Keep an eye on that, but unfortunately, this has been pretty damn sideways. MicroStrategy, what a hold of our 300 yesterday on the intraday. Nice 300 break and retest. Remember we talked about this one yesterday morning? That was really nice early morning. Break and retest 300 was clean. Now we have to see if we hold above it. Can we hold above 300 today? Or do we fail this 300? If this 300 fails, this could be a little bear flag action that's setting up right now. Right? If we see a 300 failure here, that's a bear flag into 270. I would be watching that. All right, guys, that's going to be it. I think that's going to be it for this week. If you guys want more analysis, if you want intraday commentary, if you want real-time updates, if you want to stay tuned and stay in the circle, join the Discord. Come hang out with us. Come trade live with us. Come learn from everyone in the community. If you guys want to get some in-depth mentorship, something I've been building for like 3 months now, 220 gigabytes, almost 20 hours of videos and live tradings and live education that we will do, right? Some Zoom recaps, weekly meetings, et cetera, all that good stuff. Try to get a little bit more personalized with what I can offer. You can check it out down below. There's a link to go to a wait list. The wait list is live. We'll see how, it's going to be slow when we start it. We'll probably take a few at a time just to get comfortable. But if you're interested in something like that, feel free to check it out down below. When we hit the 100,000 subs, we will do something for the lifetime. Yes. OG. Day 69 of asking. It's not going to be $1,000. I'm sorry about that. Okay. I'm not going to discount it. I'm not going to take 66% off of that. But I will do something for you if you guys have been waiting for some kind of lifetime. There's going to be free shirts. Free shirts, limited free shirts, 0 to you. I will pay every dollar of the shirt, including shipping. It's probably going to cost me close to $7,000 in shirts. So I'm doing that for you. So, yeah, some cool stuff coming. I'm going to spend some money, business expense, tax write-off. But, yeah, we'll make it special. So press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next week. Have a fantastic weekend. Peace and love. That's it. See you later.